Hello everyone and welcome to Module 2 Overview. So in this video, I will give you a brief overview of what you're going to be learning and doing in Module 2. Okay, so in this module, we will start the Module 2 working with Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is a graphing chapter, and it's a chapter that I believe it looks different than the other chapters, but it's very important, okay? So you will learn how to graph a linear equation using the intercept method, table of values, and using the slope. The equations will be given in a rectangular coordinate system, and an equation is linear when the highest exponent is 1, okay? Then the last chapter that you're going to see in Module 2 is Chapter 4. This is the polynomials chapter, and it's extremely important because it's your foundation for Chapter 5. And Chapter 5 is one of our biggest chapters and extremely important. And you will definitely, everything you learn in this class, in your next math class, but you will need a lot of Chapter 5. So you definitely want to make sure you understand all your rules, and I'm referring to exponent rules, when you are in Chapter 4. Extremely important. Okay, so what I will do is I'll give you a brief overview of Chapter 3, okay? So in Chapter 3 is the graphing chapter, and you definitely want to make sure you understand what is the rectangular coordinate system. So this is chapter, the rectangular coordinate, I can never spell coordinate. I'm not the best when it comes to spelling. Coordinate system. Okay. So bear with me, and if you see any mistakes in my writing, point them out to me. I do not mind, because this is a learning process for you and I, okay? So the rectangular coordinate system is composed of two lines, a vertical and a horizontal line, okay? And you probably have seen this before, where the vertical line is the y-axis, okay? And the horizontal line is the x-axis, okay? The center is a point 0, 0, and it's called the origin, okay? So if this is the starting, understanding this, okay, your rectangular coordinate system, that this axis is the y-axis, that this axis is the x-axis, that the center is called the origin, and it has a point 0, 0. A point, okay, is composed of an x and a y, because in order to plot the point here, you need to know the location for the x and the y, okay? Now, with this, you first are going to start with learning about the system, right? Then how to plot points in the system. And then you're going to learn how to plot a graph. So how to graph a linear line in the rectangular coordinate system, okay? There's a lot to it, but I truly believe that if you follow the rules, you take notes, you ask questions, you should have no trouble with doing this chapter. Okay, and remember, I am here to help you. So you definitely want to make sure if you don't understand something, you are asking me. Okay, the next part, and I only talked a tiny bit of Chapter 3. So for Chapter 4, you're dealing with polynomials. And this is extremely important. Okay, let me see, I think I have an example. So if I have a polynomial of 2x squared minus 4x plus 1, right? This is a polynomial. This is a trinomial because it has 3 terms. 1, 2, 3, right? The leading coefficient is 2. The leading term is 2x squared. Why? The highest exponent, right, is 2. This is an exponent, this is 2. This has an exponent of 2, 1, and nothing, 0, right? So the leading term is 2x squared, Therefore, the leading coefficient is 2. And this is a trinomial because it has 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. Now the 1, because it doesn't have a variable, it's also called a constant. So you're going to start chapter 4 with all this terminology. What is a term? What is a coefficient? What is the degree of the polynomial? What's the highest exponent? All the definitions that you need to know. So learn the concepts, okay? So when the question asks you how many terms of the polynomial has, you are able to tell me it has 3 terms, and therefore it's a trinomial. When the question asks you what is the leading term based on the highest exponent, you're going to tell me that it's 2x squared. When the question asks you what is the leading coefficient of the term, of the first term, you're going to tell me it's 2, because the coefficient is the number in front of the variable. When the question asks you what is the degree of the polynomial, you're going to pick the highest exponent and you're going to tell me it's 2. Now, this is just the beginning of chapter 4. There's a lot to it. And I want to make sure you understand it's the starting. If you don't understand the rectangular corner system, graphing is going to be difficult. If you don't understand the terminology for polynomials, using this in order to do the rules of exponents, which is the second part of the chapter 4, to then taking both things and trying to understand chapter 5 will be extremely difficult. Okay, so we want to start with the basics. We want to understand the terminology so we are able to apply it, okay, with the examples. So again, I am here to help you. If there's something that you don't understand, please send me an email and I'll do my very best to help you, okay? So this was a brief overview of what you're going to do with module 2. And as always, you're going to need to do the optional practice problems, to do any class activities that are in the module exam review, and the module exam. Okay? Thank you. Oh, that's almost 4.